Shalom. I'd like to start out by giving all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the Great Millstone. Shalom to the elect of Israel. This is Tamayim in Atlanta, and I've got this article pulled up from MarketWatch.com. Came out May 8th, 2025. And it's an opinion piece by David Blond. It says, empty shelves, 4 lease signs, and job layoffs point to recession by summer. And I believe we're coming into more of a depression because there's going to be an economic collapse, complete economic collapse, and the scriptures speak to that. This money is cankered. They've gotten it by ill-gotten gains, and the Lord is going to show them something, and that it's coming. And yeah, this could be, these tariffs could go away and things get back to normal, but eventually America is going down. It has a lot of crime to pay, or a lot of judgment to pay for its crimes that have been committed. But it says, stop the trade flow and you stop the economy, as Americans are about to learn. And the trade flow has been stopped. Ships aren't coming in. But it says renegotiating a trade deal won't be worth much unless it's with America's most valuable trading partners, that being China. So if there's no China, most of the products we get are from China. We won't be able to get those products at such a low cost without China and their slave labor. It says it takes 30 to 50 days for container ships from Asia to reach the U.S.'s West Coast ports. Barring new, faster shipping options or a stunning retreat by U.S. President Donald Trump on China tariffs, the consumer retail economy, which constitutes 70% of GDP, will be damaged. Demand for container space from China on the ships transiting the Pacific Ocean currently is running 60 to 65% below what it normally would be at this time. So that is a lot. It says, attention, U.S. shoppers. If you see something you need or even think you will, head to Walmart or Target or the local retailer and buy it. Already you can see the shelves starting to empty. And yeah, there are reports on that. And true. If there's something you think you need, or you should be stocking up on some extra food and supplies as well, go ahead and do it now, because the price is only going to go up, and it might not even be available if you wait. So stock up now, because that famine's coming. Just like Joseph in Egypt, he stocked up for 7 years for all of Egypt. You should be doing that with your house as well, getting your house in order for that complete amount of time. So some analysts are concentrating on the higher prices on imports, but the truth is that fewer American businesses will clear products through U.S. Customs. It won't be price that matters. It will be the lack of product to sell, because everything we have comes from China. So stop the trade flow and you stop the economy. And that's even goes into currency. Currency, just like a water current or a river current, is where you get the word currency from. You stop the flow of it, the economy is going to stop, which economy goes into housekeeping. So we're watching this house suddenly cave in, suddenly stop flowing. This damage to the U.S. economy is happening in slow motion. Without products to sell in stores, retail employers responsible for 10% of all jobs in the U.S. will shed employees. A cascade of negatives now showing up in both statistics and for lease signs. Small businesses from Alaska to Maine without imported goods to use in the factory or sell at the shop will close. Bankruptcy sales will proliferate. Now consider that job losses have a multiplier effect, further reducing economic output. The damage to the U.S. economy is happening in slow motion. The impact will soon be obvious. I'm going to skip that paragraph and jump down to here. It says the impact on the U.S. economy will soon be obvious. Economies run on flows from wages and from federal government grants to thousands of immediate needs. Without this flow and with the layoffs and cuts to wages, the U.S. economy will continue to slow and could be in a recession by summer. Let's not forget the immigration raids that must be spooking farmers and their workers. For U.S. manufacturers, building a network of new suppliers is complex due to the specific nature and qualities of the parts used in manufacturing production. Even if there is an American company that might, with time and detailed drawings, make the foreign part at competitive prices, the risk to current production is too great and costly to make this feasible. If attempted, then during this transition, hourly employees would be laid off and production lines stopped. Local communities, many of them in the Trump-friendliest states, would suffer. And we're going to stop there because basically America is liquidating and it's about to go out of business. And the Lord said he was going to bring America down, except he didn't call it America. It's known as Babylon the Great within the scriptures. They touched the apple of the Lord's eye, that being the Israelites, who they had in slavery and stole land from and tried to wipe off the face of the earth, that being the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. The Lord is paying them back. And he's paying back this land because it has to be cleansed for all the blood that was shed. And then also the Edomites, who are the so-called white people, and those small hatters that call themselves the Lord's people. Those are the Edomites, and the Lord hates them. And he's going to bring them down and shame them and put them into a very hardcore bondage, hardcore slavery for 1,000 years, and then their entire line, their seed, is going to be wiped off of the planet, much like they tried to do to the Israelites. But this is Isaiah 47, and we're going to read through the entire chapter, Lord will. In verse 1, it says, "Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon." This is speaking of America, because it's never been penetrated by an enemy nation. It says, "Sit on the ground." So they're coming from the lofty position that America's been in all the way to the absolute bottom. They're going to be one of those third world countries that they talk about, that they are proud over. Says, "There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate." And this is not that same golden city that light upon the hill that people refer to this place as, this highly sought after place for both consumer goods and to live, because you had New York and Hollywood and all these big attractions here. But this is now being seen as a place of, just nastiness. It's no one to trust. It's full of crazy philosophies. It's polluted, and it's not what it was said made out to be. It's going into a very low position, and eventually it's going to be struck by nuclear missiles, and no one will ever dwell here again. It says, "Take the millstones and grind meal, uncover thy locks, make bare the leg, uncover the thigh, pass over the rivers." So they're exposing themselves in front of everyone. It says, thy nakedness shall be uncovered. That exposure. So the Lord is showing all the sins of this place, all the violence committed to the Native Americans and to the Negroes and Latinos, all of its crooked policies and corrupt business and banking practices. It's showing that, and you look in the media and entertainment and how corrupt and disgusting that is. Everything is being uncovered, just like Esau is being uncovered and made bare. says, thy shame shall be seen. So this is going to shame these Edomites and these Americans who still trust in America. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man, because that vengeance belongs to Yahushua. But first, he's going to bring you down and shame you. As for our Redeemer, the Lord of hosts is his name, the Holy One of Israel, that being the Father, Yahweh, and his Son, Yahushua. And the Father's going to send the Son back to go to town on Babylon, on the Edomites in general. Isaiah 63, who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Basra? And with his return, he's going to both destroy the wicked or reward the wicked and deliver the elect of Israel. It says, sit thou silent and get thee into darkness, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called the Lady of Kingdoms. So it's not America the Beautiful anymore, it's America the Afflicted. They are being seen amongst the whole world, and the world seeing the confusion that America is in with their different crazy laws and its different policies. This place is being brought down, and soon there's going to be famine and economic and monetary collapse and civil wars and race wars, socioeconomic wars, wars on every front, and then they're going to get it handed to them in World War III. Then Yahushua is going to wipe them up. It says, I was wroth with my people. I have polluted mine inheritance, and the Lord's people are the Israelites, and the Israelites only. And we went and worshipped other gods and broke his law, statutes, and commandments, so he put us under the curses. But after he's done with us, the curses are going to be turned to our enemies, with the nation of Edom, so-called white men and small hatters, being the number one enemy. Because this is what they did. It says, I have polluted mine inheritance and given them into thine hand, into the hands of the Edomites who control Babylon the Great, aka America. Thou didst show them no mercy, none whatsoever. Upon the ancient hast thou very heavily laid thy yoke. They enslaved us. They enslaved young and old, strong and weak, all of us, and put that byword of blackness upon us, to where the whole world looks at us as just as slaves and as the worst of humanity. It says, and thou sayest, I shall be a lady forever, so that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart, neither didst remember the latter end of it, because he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here's the patience and faith of the saints. This land is so polluted with blood that it's been spilled. It's got to be cleaned. And it can only be cleaned with the blood of them that did the slaying. And that's these Edomites. And the Lord's going to send his own sword onto them, the ICBMs. And that is going to cleanse this land forever. But they shouldn't have touched the Israelites. The Edomites should not have touched the Israelites, because now they're going to have to pay for it. They did not think about this at all. It says, therefore hear now this, thou that art given to pleasures, that dwellest carelessly, and that's these Americans is in this decadent state, only looking for that next pleasure, that next high, that next win. No worries at all. America's not beat up like these other nations that are always at war and always have economic hitmen and things coming in to steal their resources. But America will soon be in that position. that sayest in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me, because they thought they were the only ones on top of that pyramid, but well above them is Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. It says, I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. But these two things shall come to thee in a moment, in one day. It says, I saw Satan falling as lightning. This is going to happen quick, this downfall. And it even now, it's happening quickly. You ask somebody 10 years ago if this would be the state of America currently, and they would not believe it one bit. In the moment, in one day, the loss of children and widowhood in America is about to suffer great losses. There's going to be a lot of death on this earth. They're going to go to World War III and get spanked. And then there's also going to be different wars here within America, not to mention the famine and the teeth of wild beasts and the pestilences and all of the other calamities that are coming upon Babylon. It says, they shall come upon thee in their perfection. So it's going to be perfect. It's going to be amazing what is going to happen to America. For the multitude of thy sorceries and for the great abundance of thine enchantments. And you just look at the grid for Washington, D.C., that's a witching board. That is, this place was built on witchcraft and Satanism. The founding fathers were Satanists. Christianity is Satanism. Satan means adversary, and these Christians say that the laws are done away with. They are adverse to the laws of the Heavenly Father, and it's all Satanism. This place is built up off of wickedness, and it's got to pay for it. It says, for thou hast trusted in thy wickedness. Yeah, they have. They thought this is what the Lord wanted. Thou hast said, none seeth me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge it hath perverted thee. Thou hast said in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me. Because the Edomites who run Babylon have a God complex. They really believe that they could do whatever they want and control people in whichever way that they want. But they are not God. Thou art no God. Thou art but a man. And the Lord is about to show you that you're nothing but men, especially the elite. Therefore shall evil come upon thee. Thou shalt not know from whence it riseth, and mischief shall fall upon thee. Thou shalt not be able to put it off, and desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know. All evil goes into bad times. We are already in bad times with how the economy and these tariffs are going, and there's more to come. And they can't even tell where this is coming from or when it's going to end. There's a lot of wickedness and evil coming to Babylon the Great. So stand now with thine enchantments and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. I just spoke on the founding fathers. They've always been involved in this Satanism. Really, they were all Masons. And this place is built on these enchantments, all this witchcraft. Look at the dollar bill. For me personally, I was slightly woken up years ago with just seeing the different pyramids and different symbols in the movies and in the songs or in music videos. This place is full of witchcraft and Satanism. Stand now with thine enchantments and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. If so be thou shalt be able to profit, if so be thou mayest prevail. Sounds really similar to what the Lord told Cain. Since thou art wearied in the multitude of thy counsels, let now the astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee. You just know the elite have big plans. They want to start their NWO, but things aren't going to go right for them, and they're not going to be able to fully complete it, to fully build this new enterprise, that they're trying to create, in which they can keep the birthright. And they've been communing with spirits to keep everything going, but these spirits are leading them into destruction. Behold, they shall be as stubble. The missiles are going to come and wipe this place off the map. The fire shall burn them. They shall not deliver themselves from the power of the flame. And it says, behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and it shall not leave them root nor branch. This is all going to remove the Edomites out of power from their headquarters, Babylon the Great, aka America. It's going to completely remove them, and they are not going to be able to get back up from this great fall. It says, there shall not be a coal to warm at, nor fire to sit before it. Slakia, it says, the fire shall burn them, and they shall not deliver themselves from the power of the flame. There shall not be a coal to warm at, nor fire to sit before it. It's going to be way too hot. And it's already getting hot. They know this place is falling. It says, thus shall they be unto thee, with whom thou hast labored, even thy merchants from thy youth. And you see all the merchants are turning on this place. There are tariffs. China has an embargo against America. American ships aren't going out, and this is such a consumer nation. Things aren't coming in at a good price. They're going to forsake you. The men that have been at peace with thee have laid a wound under thee. This is from thy youth. They shall wander every one to his quarter, and the famine that is coming is going to make them, all these different heathens or different people from the different countries, they're going to go back to their own country because of the evils that are coming to this place. None shall save thee. The Israelites have a savior, Yahweh Shai, but the Edomites and America don't have a savior. Nobody's going to be able to deliver them from the trouble that is coming for them. You're going to have to sit in it, sit in that dust, and just bask in it, in the flame that is coming. And so, Lord willing, that was edifying. America's going out of business. I'd like to give all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakach Kwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the Great Millstone. Shalom to the elect of Israel. Shalom.